welcome to Beyond the Box. I'm here today with another salsa guy, Noe. Noe, I can't say your last name. I meant to ask you before this started. Okay, wait, I put it in Google, like, to try to, and I couldn't figure that out because I'm
What did Google say?
Google didn't say anything because I couldn't get it to work.
Okay.
It was trying to, like, translate it, and I was like, this is not right. Let me think. Monsiváis.
Okay, close. I think that's what most people go for. Monsiváis.
Monsiváis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's like...
Noé Monsiváis.
That's so nice. It just rolls off your tongue. Anyway, so you teach salsa and bachata, and you're an ESL instructor?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what that was, so you'll have to tell everybody.
So I'm Noé Monsiváis, and I teach English as a second language for KIPP Academy Nashville at the moment. And
what's KIPP Academy? I'd never heard of that either.
It's a charter school.
Okay.
For me, it's a middle school that I work at.
Yeah.
I work with 5th through 8th grade.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so students who come into the country and need to learn English, then they'll go through me as they're learning the English language on top of whatever literature we're covering at the moment.
Okay. How long have you been doing that?
I've been in education since 2008.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. So it's been a minute.
Okay.
Yes.
And you normally just work with kids, or do you do adults at all? Or
had like a one-on-one with adults occasionally.
like when they're trying to come into the country, or what? Or
Well,
just...
mostly when they already know English, but now they're trying to learn Spanish.
Right.
So then I'll be their Spanish tutor for a minute.
Oh my God, can you be my Spanish tutor?
Definitely.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no kidding, because I was just going to get on Duolingo. But yeah, because I'm going to San Juan soon. So
Yeah, I think
Yes.
Duolingo is a great start, and then we can transition into a little more conversational Spanish.
okay.
Yeah.
So let's start back from the beginning. Where are you from? And tell me about your parents and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, I am from Mexico. I was born in Mexico. I don't think that was the original plan.
To be born in Mexico?
Right. I came to Earth 2 months before I should have been born.
Oh, wow, you're
Yeah.
premature.
Right. So for that reason, I was born deaf on my right ear.
Okay, this is something else I just found out about Noe. I had no idea.
Yes. On November 20th, there's a big parade in Mexico. It's called for us, we celebrate El Día de la Revolución Mexicana, Mexican Revolution Day.
Okay.
And so my mom, who already lived in Texas, traveled to Mexico, which I grew up in a border town, so it's like a 5-10 minute drive just to Mexico. And while she was watching the parade, it was a really cold day already. Mm-hmm. She said she just started to feel like she was in labor, and so they took her to the hospital, and I was born.
Wow,
Mm-hmm.
that is crazy.
Yep. And that's
So it was just that was the only thing, was just being deaf in one ear. You didn't have any pulmonary problems or anything from that?
Well, as I've been told, I spent about a month and a half to 2 months in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't,
In the NICU?
Right, yes.
Yeah.
And then...
It's funny. Did you... Tasha, sorry to interrupt, but Tasha works in the NICU.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm kind of familiar with it now just because I talked to her about it.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, after that, then I was able to come home with my parents, and yeah.
Are you fully deaf in that ear, or?
Well, today I am, fully deaf. I can hear a marginal amount, but it's nothing that modern, tech will help with hearing aids.
Yeah.
I keep on trying them, but every year there's also a gradual loss. So I don't think tech will be able to help at this point.
I mean, I guess you're used to it, right?
Yes.
But is it, so it's, because I'm just thinking, gosh, if I was deaf in this ear.
But was it not fully deaf? Because you said it's getting worse. So as you were growing up, was it better then?
Like, did
in
you
that
have
ear?
any?
I was never able to hear 100%. And even my parents didn't know that I was deaf. I didn't know I was deaf until in kindergarten, a teacher said, hey, let's talk with your parents. And then that teacher told my parents that I kept on leaning into the table and facing more to the left. And that's when they had my hearing checked, and that's when it was determined, oh, he's deaf on his right ear.
Did it affect your speech as you were learning to talk? Not at all?
I did go through ESL classes because Spanish was the main language spoken at home. So they made me go through ESL classes myself to learn English. But since we lived in a border town, being bilingual was the norm.
Oh, wow.
So I was able to pick up English and Spanish at the same time.
Okay.
But I don't remember it affecting my speech at all.
Huh.
It does affect my balance, which as a dance instructor, it's...
Does it really?
I had to really train myself
How?
extra hard to be able to spin, in place without moving to the side.
Do you spot when
I
you
do.
because
Well,
I spot when I spin, so
I do teach spotting, but often than not, I forget to spot, and that's part of how I train myself. But when I do teach, to spot because it's important to not lose balance and not get dizzy.
how are you losing balance? Because to me, I would think that wouldn't even affect.
Well, the equilibrium is happening in between your ears. That's where the balance is for our
Did you have
bodies.
vertigo at all, or
Yeah.
okay?
If I'm walking, I can't walk straight. If we're walking side by side and you're on my left, I'll start walking into you.
Okay.
So I have to really focus to make sure I'm walking straight and not bumping into you. I can do that now without thinking, unless I'm really tired or something. Then you'll be able to tell oh, I'm bumping into you. Sorry about that.
Huh.
That's fascinating.
There's a wait. What is? I just looked all this up. So what is Meniere's disease? Do you have that or no?
I've never heard of that. No.
It's inner ear, vertigo, hearing loss. So
Okay.
Where did you pull that from?
well, because at the very beginning, I did start to kind of watch your podcast with your other one, and then I heard about your ear, and then I cut it off real quick. So I really didn't know other than just a second, and then I looked it up because I thought, well, maybe that's what he's got. So I didn't know what happened.
Most of the doctors that I went to when I was growing up were doctors in Mexico.
Yeah.
And then there was a period of time where, I guess I didn't really attend the doctors for that. So I'm sure my mom knows, but I didn't ask anymore, and I just, continued to live with it.
So you didn't notice that your balance was off until you started dance? Is that what it was, or? Because
I guess more activities that required balance would surface, and that's when I would start paying attention to how my balance was being affected. A doctor told my mom, hey, your son is never going to be able to play an instrument, do things that require balance like dancing. He's never going to be able to be creative. And then my mom shared that with me.
What a buzzkill. Really?
Yeah.
Did you get a new doctor after that?
Well, that was a doctor in Mexico. Not that there's anything wrong with doctors in Mexico, but that's what my mom experienced. My mom later told me that, and then I was like, let's try to prove that wrong.
Yeah.
How old were you when she told you that he had said that?
I was probably in 5th grade because I was trying to get into band. That's when they started to recruit students in 5th grade to join the middle school band, and I wanted to participate to learn to play the saxophone. And my mom said, you can definitely try it out, but I'm going to let you know what the doctor said just so that you don't feel disappointed if it doesn't work out. But yeah, it did work out. I was able to...
So that was the first you had heard that you may have those kind of issues from
Right, that I may have challenges.
To that degree?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah.
Was it hard to learn to play the instrument?
No, it was not actually. But I think I did a disservice to myself because a lot of the times I was able to read the notes, and then once I read the notes, I had a good enough memory that I just memorized everything.
Yeah.
And so
Wow.
over time, I forgot how to read the notes, but I was able to keep the memory of, what I needed to press when.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Do you still keep up with that or no?
I haven't
Playing instruments.
had the need to play. I learned to play the tuba.
Okay.
And so it's a very big instrument. I haven't had a place on where to play it.
Yeah.
Later, I joined the mariachi, where I learned to play the violin, but it was all by ear. So I would just hear a song and then just learn it.
Okay.
And then I
Did you talk to Amanda about this?
yeah,
right.
yeah. That's why Amanda and I would vibe a lot because she's also a learner, and like we would always like pick up on new hobbies all the time. Once I met her, I was like, "Oh, you're like
very
me."
quick. You're a very quick study in general.
I'm a very quick what?
Quick study, like you pick things up. Well,
Yes. Yeah, one of the things that I do like to share is in the year 2000, I was still in high school. I remember, telling myself, well, if we survive Y2K, because I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah, if we survive Y2K, I make a promise to myself that I will learn a new thing every year.
Aw.
And I've been able to keep up with
amazing.
that. Every year since the year 2000, I've been learning something new.
that's awesome.
Wow.
I in 2020, I literally went into that year with the same.
I know.
goal.
I'm like the world's gonna end.
And I'm
Oh my
still
God.
on the first one. I'm still unboxing, but I love that. I love that.
Okay, so we're back to high school, and also your parents too. Did they play instruments? Were they musical? Were they into the arts or what?
So my mom,
And do
my
they
mom
still
is a
live in
pianist.
Mexico?
I'm sorry?
Or are they still? Are they?
No, by the time I was born, my parents already had a house in Texas.
Oh, Texas. Okay.
Yeah, they've been living there for 10 years.
So it was a total. Did that cause problems that you were born in Mexico? I mean, were you?
No, I went through a process called a naturalization. So since my parents were already U.S. citizens, all they had to go. Well, I don't know how complicated the process is, but they had to naturalize me. So I have a document that has a baby picture of me with a U.S. I guess I don't know U.S. citizenship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. What is that process? Because I would think you have to be here, right? You just have to be living here for what, 2 years, something like that. I tried to look it up, but I wasn't sure what else.
So they were already citizens. So if you would have
So
been,
you're
if you would have
grandfathered
just been
in.
born in that town in
I
Texas,
guess.
like that would have never even.
Been a thing, right? It's like if any American happens to be in another country and they give birth over there,
Right.
unexpectedly, then they have to go through that process too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the coincidence of that is crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways, so we actually went on a kind of a thing there from the original thing we were talking about with your mom, and then we were talking about how you were born. So tell us a little bit more about your childhood, if you would, in Texas.
But my childhood in
Your
Texas,
yeah, and just your
And
upbringing
your
and
parents,
your parents and that kind of thing.
And do you have like siblings and all that kind of stuff?
I have an older sister. She's 10 years older than I, and she's my only, I guess, sibling, I guess by blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. After about 10 years, at somewhere along the line, my mom and dad divorced because, my birth father was an abusive man. So my mom decided, she actually didn't want to get a divorce because in her religious beliefs, divorce is a sin. But a pastor had to convince her, hey, that doesn't mean that you're supposed to, allow yourself to get beaten up every day.
Wow.
So I'm glad that she did
Did you
that.
witness any of that, or?
I did actually. I have a vivid memory of me sitting by the stairwell watching my dad, be drunk and holding cups of wine glasses and tossing them at my mom's until they broke.
Oh my God.
Then he left the house, and my mom was crying. Went to cry to the living room. At the time, I would, open McDonald's ketchup packets and just suck on them because I thought the ketchup tasted so good out of the packet. And I walked over to her crying, and I would tell her, hey, like, I was very, very young. I'm guessing probably like 6 years old. And I told her, it's okay. You don't have to cry. He's gone. And she
here's
didn't
some
realize.
ketchup.
What's that?
And here's some ketchup.
Here's some ketchup. I definitely did have her some ketchup. And she didn't realize that I was listening or witnessing that from the stairwell.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
yeah.
God, that's so much. So much for her to take in and for you,
So how old were you about the time that this was all going on, and when did they split up eventually?
I don't know the exact age that I was, but I do remember, I don't have a clear picture of what my birth father looks like anymore.
Because it was that long ago?
Right.
Gotcha.
But my sister does. I know that he went back to Mexico, and I wouldn't say maybe like 20 years ago, we were in Mexico, and I think she saw him like in the streets.
Oh, wow.
And like she broke down crying, and I didn't understand what was going on. And later my sister explained to me, "Oh, I just saw our father," and I was like, "Oh, well, I wouldn't have known."
So he doesn't reach out to you
Right.
or anything.
We have absolutely no contact with him.
Have you ever?
When I was younger, but not at an age where I remember, having contact. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. That makes me so sad. I mean, sad for you that you had to go through that. Sad for your mom because she probably felt like she needed to protect you. But now look at you.
Right.
You're happy. You're dancing salsa. So.
Yeah. One thing I do want to say is that after I was of an age where I could understand more, my mom did remarry, and then she remarried to a wonderful man that I do call my father. His name's Pedro
awesome.
Capellan. And so when my mom was remarrying, my stepfather, or who I call my father, he was wondering if my sister and I wanted to take his last name. And my sister did take it just until eventually she remarried. But I said no. And I said no because my birth father had given Monsiváis a bad name, so to speak.
Right.
So I wanted to turn that around.
Yeah.
So that's why I said no. I said, you know what? I'm going to say no, and this is my reason why.
Yeah. That's nice. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I think that's incredibly brave. I think. And I just would throw out there, too, not the exact same situation, but I had a stepfather who was very, very much the same way. And it was during that same, well, for me, it was 5 to like 18. But my sisters are also younger. So it's kind of reversed in a way, but it's interesting because I have that, I understand that dynamic that you're talking about, where one sibling feels one way, which I'm that sibling that's like, in a way, it's not like you have good feelings about him, but I would be the one that was more like your sister, and whereas my sisters now are more so, I would say, are more likely to have a relationship with that person. Now, that was also a stepfather for me, so that's their actual father. But I say all that to say that it's a really tough thing to grow up in an environment like that. So you should be proud of the fact that you're a good man, and I think that that's a pretty commendable way to look at it, that you want to take that name and do something good with it. We talk about that all the time, about taking tragedies and making them, turning them into something beautiful. That's all you can do with them, really.
Yeah.
And something like that is just tragic. So.
Yeah.
Right.
So when did you decide this is kind of the path I want to go on as far as English? Was that always your path? I want to teach? I want to...
teaching English as a second language? No, actually, I wanted to be a computer programmer. I wanted to make video games.
Okay.
So growing up, there was no Netflix, there was no streaming, right? Because it was with the 90s.
Yeah.
But there was Nintendo.
Yes.
So a Nintendo was gifted to me by my mother, and that often...
And Atari.
Yep. My sister had the Atari. I used it from her for a minute. But the Nintendo was, actually mine.
And in television.
In
Do you remember
television.
that?
I never had one, but I do know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, you're too young, but still.
I was just about to ask you, talking about like a Super Nintendo? We talking about Nintendo 64? What
No, those before those.
Before those. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, what is that thing within television where you had, it was literally just like 2 walls or whatever, and then you just hit the ball, goes
like
really
the
slow.
Paddles, the ping pong?
Boom, boom. I don't know what it was. I just remember that as a kid. But anyway, go back. What were you saying? So you wanted to do like an Atari game or something like that?
Right. Since I grew up with Nintendo, I remember telling my mom, I want to make video games. And she said, who makes video games? That's not a career. Be a teacher, be something that you will be guaranteed to have a job.
Right.
So
You're like, Mom, but this is the wave of the future. Don't you know? Yeah.
I did. I changed my major because I did start it as an engineer. I switched over to be an English major, and I really didn't like English. But after taking my summer English 101 class, that professor, Dr. Bloom, like he gave me my first failing grade ever.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, what is this? What's it? What?
I
What
never
is an
fail.
F?
Yeah.
And
Have you met me? Yeah.
but since I had taken it was my first college class ever, and it was summer, we would have to see him every day, and we would just have to turn in a new essay every day.
Wow.
And so I saw my grade gradually increase from a failing grade up to an A. You know,
Oh, okay.
I didn't get an A in the class because of those initial grades,
Yeah.
but I remember how fun it was to work my way up, really learning how to write properly, you know, versus what I had gotten in high school.
Yeah.
I think I got away with more things than I should have in high school academically, mainly because I tended to be the teacher's favorite.
Aw.
But I
You
really
gave her an apple every day.
yes,
Yeah.
but I really
Said she looked
appreciated
pretty. Yeah.
learning in college how to write an essay, and I switched because of how writing became such a passion for me after that point.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me, what resonated, what my mom said, become a teacher. I was like, oh, this seems like an easy path into teaching. So that's how I got into teaching.
God, I wish you would have been my kid. I'm thinking about, okay, if I would have suggested that to my son, no, you do not need to make video games. What I want you to do is learn to be a teacher. He would say, I think not.
It's also it is a very different time period now.
I know, but I mean, that's amazing.
I mean, would you like, from that perspective of having wanted to do that now? I mean, is it crazy to see like the fact that is a very legitimate path now?
Today, yes, I think it's a very viable path. But I also see where the gaming industry is today, and I think it wouldn't.
Yeah, either one
Yeah.
would have been profitable. I think it just depends on your mindset.
Well, I was going to go the other route. It's very volatile. Like most of the podcasts I listen to are tech related, because I'm very much into tech, and like game companies keep getting shut down by the dozen.
Why?
Big layoffs.
Yeah, there's a lot of layoffs happening because now the cost to make a video game has inflated so much that in order for them to be considered profitable, they need to sell a large amount of copies that is, in most games companies, unrealistic.
Yes.
Okay.
And on top of that, you have the AI problem. On top of that, you have
What's the AI problem?
Well, basically, if I'm creating a video game, I'm not going to hire him and give him benefits and give him a salary whenever I could just put
AI
it in.
can just do it?
Can generate a lot of the elements that not everything, but a lot of the things that you see on the screen, some of them can be generated in a much cheaper way, but that's not a good thing, obviously, in a lot of cases. And for the employment status, it's certainly not a good thing.
Yeah.
But then the industry also has an issue with like microtransactions, like the what am I looking for? The like the brand image of the gaming industry in general is very much not very good right now. Not to mention the literal layoffs.
Yeah.
And then what he was also talking about there was it's kind of like big movies right now. We're going through a lot of the same thing.
Right.
It costs so much to make a big movie that they have to make so much it's not realistic, especially in the long term, especially whenever like a place like A24, if you've ever heard of them, they can make
Have you heard of them?
yeah, it's a film production company that does much more like gritty, like ground level style stuff for a lot less. They operate on cheaper budgets. Their movies feel better because they feel more real, and ultimately they can put out a quality film over and over again at that lower price versus like a Marvel movie that costs literally like $500 million or more, $1 billion to make. I mean, the next Avengers movie is going to be like $1 billion on cast alone.
Yeah, that's stupid. So the moral of that story is always listen to your mother.
So it is a good point that ultimately he probably was the right move in that way.
But I think it's also like for me, it was a culture thing. We always were taught to listen to our adults because they know better. Like I did feel some resentment over time, and I did. I'm glad I was able to speak with my mom and tell her, hey, I don't feel joy in the job that I do, and this is true right now. Like I'm good at it.
Right.
I'm very good at the job that I do, but it just doesn't bring the same level of joy that it used to.
Yeah.
And I want to say about 10 years back, I had that conversation with my mom. Because when I was, a senior, my mom and I would not see eye to eye. Like I would crash heads with her.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is she a strong personality or?
No. Like it was me. I was the one that just I found everything very like I didn't find pleasure in anything in general. And I did let her know, hey, this is the reason why I've been acting out. I finished a college degree. I got into a job, but I really don't like it, and it all had to do with, what you recommended. And she was able to say, "Oh, I didn't realize that I had that kind of effect on you, and I apologize." So we hugged it out and whatnot, and our relationship.
Nice. I mean that she heard you and accepted what you said.
Mm-hmm.
And took accountability for it. That's
Our relationship was never tumultuous, but it was still, you can definitely tell that there was friction. And sometimes when things didn't go my way, like I immediately made it a point to make it, obvious. Like, hey, I'm not enjoying this now.
right.
Right. But yeah, now after having that conversation with her, whenever I let her know, hey, I'm interested in learning this or doing that, like she supports me 100%.
That's
so up
great.
until now, she still, provides me any support that I need. I'll let her know, and she's like, okay, well, what can I do to support you?
Yeah.
So I've always enjoyed the relationship that I've had with my mother, but now it's even more enjoyable because I feel her support 100%. I've always felt her support. That was just the one thing that I decided to go along with because that was part of my culture. Listen to your adults.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So and that's the job that you're in now, though. You said that's kind of something you still kind of struggle with a little bit.
Because of the English, I specifically got an English major, so it's
very specific.
Are you doing this? Are you doing that full time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what pays the bills, and then dancing is what I do for fun.
Yeah.
Because it's fun.
Well, and you're also doing. Well, I was going to ask you real quick. So, what is a typical session like, or a typical class like with you? As far as because I'm still on English right now. And
okay.
because you're and I was going to ask you this, like, how do you explain homophones?
Homophones?
Not homophobes, but homophones. Because
How
I
do
was
I
thinking
explain-
about
well-
that. That's that's
I was gonna say I don't even know what you're talking
that's
about.
words that, or it's also called heterographs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like here and here, but they're spelled different ways, but they sound the same. Like that
Yeah,
would be
that's an
hard for
interesting
somebody
question.
coming in, that's
Can I just add a cherry on
plain
that
and
same
plain.
question? In general, can you explain how difficult English is? Because what I've always heard is that English is like one of the, if not the hardest language in the world because we have a word for everything.
But explain that, because I'm just super curious.
Yeah, like that would be a great example of a very weird English language thing.
Yeah.
We do.
Well, since mostly I work with, I would say 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, homophones are more explained when the lower grade levels, like early
Really?
childhood to 5th grade.
Okay.
I haven't had a chance to work with that group yet. I more cover things like idioms, like it's raining cats and dogs. To someone who's coming from another country, they may take that literal, like, oh, it's falling cats and dogs.
Yes. Oh my God.
That's more of what I do. And then at the same time, I'm also teaching books like Animal Farm, books like, well, today's curriculum at the charter school, they make sure that they have a well-rounded curriculum where they try to cover as much of the culture that we have in schools as they can.
Okay.
So it's like 50% Hispanic, 50% Black. So they try to make sure that the literature that is being presented to the students is catering to the kind of culture that they are growing up with as well.
Okay. So, I mean, by the time you get to them, they can already speak English
They
pretty
can,
well.
yeah, for the most part, they are speaking English.
Yeah.
I just have to prepare them for a test in Tennessee called the ELPA 21. And that tests whether they're able to, on grade level, as close as possible to a native English speaker, master the English in reading, writing, listening, and speaking.
Oh, wow.
So they have to. It
sounds
takes about 4 days for that test.
I was going to say, it sounds very comprehensive. For sure.
Yeah, they have to record their voice. They have to listen to somebody speaking. watch like a clip and like describe what's happening. It's a lot. It's a long process. It's very
Yeah.
tiring.
And then after they pass that, then what?
Then they exit. They no longer have to be part of the ESL program. They can just be integrated into a full English class without being pulled out for additional language support.
Oh, how long is your program? Did you tell me that? I forgot.
They're supposed to be in the program for anywhere from 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
But some students they cannot exit the program because they are not successful in one of the domains. So
Okay.
they need to score a 4 out of 6.
Yeah.
Sorry, a 4 out of 5. And if in one of the domains they score a 3, then that invalidates the entire test, even if they're successful in everything else.
Oh my God, that's frustrating.
It is. I have a student who I know
Oh,
she
I
has
hate
no
that.
reason to be in my program, but maybe on the day that she took the test last year, she might have felt sick, or whatever the case may be, she's still in there.
Did she take it out on you? She's like, "Why am I here again?"
No, actually, I'm one of her favorite teachers, so she loves it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm still back on the homophones thing. That little kids are figuring that out. That I would think that as a, what'd you say, 5-year-old? I mean, as a 5-year-old, I would not be able to get that. No and no. KNOW and NO. I wouldn't understand that. That's just me. Anyway, okay. I have nothing to say about that.
No, it's hard to understand as an adult. There's
Yeah.
not a whole lot. It seems like it doesn't even follow a rule sometimes.
Yeah. Okay, so what is like your greatest strength in your job? Like, what do you feel like you bring to the job?
Well,
Is that a strange
think-
question?
it's not a strange question.
Okay.
Being bilingual is one of the greatest strengths
Yeah.
because I can connect to many of the students that I would say out of 10 students, 8 of them are actually Hispanic.
Yeah.
And the other 2 are not, but usually the other 2 students that are not Hispanic already have a stronger sense of the English language. It's usually the writing that gets them. So for that reason, those other 2 students, I've never had one case where they're not part of my sheltered classroom. A sheltered classroom means instead of teaching a student of a class of 30 students, I only have like 5 or 6 students.
Oh, okay.
And so that's
that's how it always is?
how it is for a teacher in my position.
Okay.
I just get a smaller group because if we put them into a full-blown 35, 40 student class, then the speed at which the teacher's going there is way too fast.
Yeah.
And they won't be able to keep up. My students get additional accommodations, like instead of testing for 40 minutes, they'll get time and a half. So they'll get
Right.
60 minutes to test.
Okay.
They can also have somebody reading to them what the text is, so that they can better understand what is being tested of them.
Why do I feel like my daughter has extra time when she does tests, but it's because of ADHD or something?
Yeah, that's another. If a student is on what are these IEPs? If a student is in an IEP,
What's that?
it's I don't remember what the actual initials are, or what they mean. But if they need an accommodation for some, like you said, ADHD, or maybe they have
Just can't
a learning disability of some kind, then through a different program called it's either referred to as a special education program or exceptional student, then they may get other accommodations like extended time or small group instruction.
Okay. Interesting. Did you tell me what a typical session was like? Did we talk? I asked you about that.
I was going to it. So that's the 5 to 6 students, and so with those 5 or 6 students, like my strength is I understand what most of their cultural backgrounds is probably like, or sometimes I'll just ask them flat out, and then I'll take what they share with me and I embed it into the lessons as I see that it would make sense.
Okay.
Because also I need to, and this was a big learning curve for me. When I grew up in Texas, everybody was Mexican the way I was. But then coming here, there's a big Hispanic community, but that doesn't mean that we all share the same cultural background. So
Okay.
Mexican child didn't experience the same thing as a Colombian child, as an Honduras child.
What are the differences that you've noticed? Like for, just like me compared to you. I mean, you don't know me, but you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because it does seem like, from what I'm hearing from you, the Mexican cultures is very much respectful of their parents, their elders. And I'm not saying that it's like that, it's not like that everywhere. What am I saying? You know what I'm saying?
What's the same and what's different?
Yeah.
Well, there's too many similarities and differences to cover them all, but
ones that stand out the most.
The one that is true for all cultures, all Hispanic cultures I've encountered so far, is the respecting of adults. We all do, like the way we greet each other is still like a kiss on the cheek and whatnot. That's standard across all cultures I've encountered. Some of the differences, and I don't know if this attributes more to modern society today, but it seems like there's a difference level in pride and ownership of one's culture. But I don't know if that's the parents trying to let the children be more successful in America than it is, just what's part of the culture outside of the U.S., of the same culture. And by that I mean, like a lot of the times, a student may be named Juan, but he wants to go by Juan, sounding more American-like instead of Juan, and they want their...
What's the difference? I mean, I can't tell a difference.
Oh, let me try a different name. Instead of being called Maria, I would call somebody Maria. They want to go by Maria, yes.
Okay.
So, and I'll ask them, hey, do you want... Because a lot of teachers...
probably the majority of her friends are calling her that anyway. Mm-hmm.
And I'll ask the student, do you want to go by Maria or Maria? And more often than not, they'll be like, no, call me Maria.
Yeah.
And so recently when we're reading a book called House on Mango Street. Mm-hmm. And in this book, it's about a Hispanic student who feels different because all of her friends are non-Hispanic. So, she's starting to see the cultural differences. The teacher in that classroom, I just go into that classroom to support students with who need language support. Yeah. So I don't lead the classroom. But she asked me, do you have anything to say? And I just share with the students, hey, be proud of your cultural background. Don't let it disappear, because you're the ones that have to either keep it alive or it will vanish from your family history, potentially forever.
Right.
And I know this because for me, I was already assimilating into the American culture to the point where I really didn't care about, Mexican culture and heritage.
Yeah.
Because it was around me everywhere in Texas. But when I got here, I guess I took it for granted because it was around me in Texas. When I got here, seeing other cultures, how proud they were of their own cultural heritage, I was like, I think I need to start paying more attention to my own cultural heritage and be proud of it too. Mm-hmm. I remember telling my mom when I was younger, I don't like going to Mexico. It's dirty. I would talk like that about my country. And now thinking back to it, I was like, that is so silly.
Yeah.
I should have embraced, the country.
Well, you were a kid,
Mm-hmm.
And you were trying to fit in, whatnot. So don't you find, too, that as you get older, it's just like you almost kind of go back to your roots a little bit?
Right. Yeah.
How do you balance, like, whenever you're talking to your students, how do you balance holding on to that culture and also, like she was saying, for example, like with the names, it seems like that there would be a convenience aspect there too, where people are always calling you Maria or that kind of thing, and not wanting to every single time correct them type of deal, but also needing to. I understand exactly what you're saying. Like, it seems like that would be important because your name that's not your name, really. Ultimately, that's not how you pronounce your name. Mm-hmm. So I do understand that, and there's there's cultural significance in that way. It makes total sense. So how do you balance those two things? Where, for example, there could be like another culture that takes pride in can take pride in themselves without those kind of language barriers and things like that cause them like an inconvenience on a daily basis. If that makes sense, how do you balance those two things?
Well, with my students, I share with them an anecdote of mine. My mom named me Noe, right? And going to school, from kindergarten to second grade, it was not an issue. Teachers would call me Noe. But in third grade, I had my first white teacher, and she struggled to pronounce my first name. And she said, "You know what? I'm not going to call you that. I'm just going to call you Noe." Noe? And again, I was taught to...
How old were you?
It was third grade.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can't say, no, I'm not comfortable with that because you're a third grader.
I didn't have that kind of language to, advocate for myself.
Right.
So, and again, my culture is respect my adults, and my mom would always be like, your teachers know best what's best for you. So then I allowed that to happen, and all my friends started calling me Noe. And as I grew up, that's just who I became. And for 30 plus years, everybody knew me as Noe. Really? It wasn't until I came
Noe
here.
is not even, I mean, I can say it and feel very comfortable saying it. I can understand some people. Some people that have Hispanic names in the community, I feel awkward because I'm afraid I'm going to get it wrong and I'll sound stupid, and that's all on me, but for your name, yeah. I mean, it's just an A.
So it started from that
A.
teacher, and then you just kind of like let it go.
Went with it.
And that snowballed into up until a certain... So when did you decide that you weren't...
When I moved here to Tennessee, I had my first interview.
How old were you when you moved here?
It was in 2020, so what is it, 6 years back? 33, 34?
You've only been here 6 years?
What? Oh, we're going to go on another thing, but remind me to ask you why you moved in 2020 specifically, or if that was just bad timing.
Bad timing.
Okay.
2019, actually. But yeah, when I moved here, I had an interview for an English position, and the principal of that school, her name is Ada Flores. She is Hispanic. And as soon as we turned on the cameras, because it was a remote interview, she didn't even say hello right away. She was like, "Noe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to start by saying this. Your name is Noe, right? Not Noe, which is what my HR person here is trying to tell me, that your name is Noe. I know I'm right," is what she said.
Yes.
And like as soon as she said that, I just immediately said, "Yes, that's my name."
You're like, someone that gets me.
And then it was after that day that I started to think, that is my name. Yeah. Why have I been allowing other people to call me something else? So it took about a year after that, after I started to switch and not making, but like when people ask me what my name is, I now say Noe. Because that's what my mother named me, and I'm proud of that name. Like I said, it was part of my returning to my roots and not forgetting, where I came from and who I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't know either. I mean, as a kid.
Yeah.
I get that totally. But
I started to think look, if other people can memorize super long, complicated Starbucks orders, then you can remember how to pronounce my 3-letter name.
Yeah, and your name is not even, that's not even, Noe is, I think first of all, I think that's a beautiful name for the record. I mean, it's the other version is not even it sucks because that's such a cool version of the actual version is the beautiful one. So
when did you? I know you're still doing what you're doing now with teaching, but when did you start getting into like, I want to be a videographer? Were you thinking I'm going to go back and revisit the gaming industry, or like what? Because that's how I remember. How did I even meet you?
Probably dancing.
Was it? Did we just dance? I mean.
I think maybe we were part of a choreography or a team, a dance team. Were you ever in a team by?
I mean, I was on Terry's team.
Before Terry, there was another bachata. I only knew her as a team person, not a.
Oh my God! Wait, who was that?
And we would practice at the second floor of that other studio.
We were on that together.
Mm-hmm.
God, I vaguely remember something, but not enough to
I think her name starts with an A. I remember.
I can't remember. Okay, so it was dance.
Yes.
And then we would dance on occasion, and then somehow you were trying to get into videography, and then I remember
I used to
hitting you up for, hey, can you video me?
Yes. Yeah. Well.
And now you've gotten huge with that, right?
I got in a couple of gigs here and there, yes.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I got into photography. I took a photography class in college, but the class was in Istanbul, Turkey. that's how I got to travel to Turkey. It was paid through, grants and whatnot.
What was that like?
That was a fun experience.
Yeah.
I got to go to
Did you ride a camel?
I did not. I got
That's
to go
all
to
I
a
know
giant
about
bazaar where it's like a lot of shops and vendors. Our hotel was right across the Black Sea, if I remember correctly. And that's where I got to try lamb for the first time, which was delicious.
Yeah, it's real tender.
Mm-hmm. And then we did, I think for 2 weeks, we went to the Greek islands of Chios.
Wow.
And then
Who's we?
We, like the other students that I was with.
Okay.
That I met there. We all met, with the teachers, with the class.
Okay.
And then when I came back, I was like, I like photography. Let me...
I think you just described it as a photography class?
Yeah, I'm
just a
like, why
photography class.
Turkey? That's a long way.
Can
I
we
mean,
can we
what about like just
that's
Chattanooga
crazy.
and get
That's crazy.
some rocks?
And that was through the college that you were already going to? Did I miss the...
Yeah, this college it was called the University of Texas Pan American, but it was recently purchased by the UT, or the University of Texas, and now it's called the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, which gave me a big headache when I had to transfer over because I needed to prove
Yeah.
that, that my university was legit. But yes, they have like these study abroad programs. That's what they were called.
Okay. So you got to choose where you wanted to go, and you chose Turkey.
Photography study
Right.
abroad program.
Okay.
That's awesome.
I actually was meant to go to Italy, but then I had a crush on this girl.
Okay.
And she was going to Istanbul, and I was like, all right, then I guess I'm going to Istanbul.
You're like, I'm there. I'm not going to stalk you, but I'm going.
That's so funny.
Right.
Yeah.
It didn't work out the way I planned it. In my mind, yeah.
Wow.
But yeah,
How long
that's
were you
fun.
there for?
About a month and a half.
Okay. And then you came back and you were like, I'm going to do photography.
I did photography for a minute. I did some wedding photography.
Okay.
Very amateur,
Well, they didn't know that.
right,
So.
exactly. And they also, like, online wasn't a thing, or at least not as it is now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have a portfolio of things to show,
Right.
But that eventually, since I had already started to learn something new every year, one of the things that I decided to try out was streaming, like video games. So I learned to, use these kinds of microphones, set up cameras, how to record what's on my TV so that I can, edit it. And it was there through the editing process. I was like,
Streaming
okay.
video games. I'm sitting here trying.
I had the audacity to ask this man if he's been on a podcast before earlier. That's crazy. I'm sorry.
Well,
I had no idea.
What?
Streaming? No, I'm just making a joke
I mean,
about how earlier I was asking
How
him
do
if
you
he'd been around
stream? What do
mics
you?
before.
What's the point of streaming video games? Sorry, I'm like.
To someone
I
like
feel
us,
stupid.
it may not seem like a point.
Yeah.
But I think the younger people today, the younger gamers, I should say, sometimes they have access to a video game they may not have otherwise. Mm-hmm. So they may be able to watch somebody play a video game that maybe their parents just won't buy for them. But they can see it online, and their parents just don't know that they're watching.
So they
this
just want to
thing.
watch it. They don't want to participate.
And together with that is whoever is streaming will usually have commentary on it, or you watch
I'm
their
laughing
reactions.
because I know. I'm just watching the confusion.
What?
But I'm in that world, so I totally get it. But
I just.
So basically,
Why?
the long and short of it is, let's say you have a game, like a lot of times you'll be like
Does not sound fascinating to me.
Well,
it
depends on
maybe with some popcorn, but I don't.
It depends on what you're interested in and that kind of thing, obviously. But it is also a very long form kind of content. So we talk about forms of content. We do clips, we do segments, we do a long form show.
I get
but
that.
These
But if you
streams are
stream,
like hours and hours and hours long, and the reason why is because these video games you can put 200 hours on, 300 hours on just playing them. So essentially.
Yes, but you're just streaming them
So the idea
for
is
people to watch.
Yes, because a lot of.
But why? Why?
Well, he would do it because he's going to be playing the game anyway. A, B, he can create something out of it. C, he can build an audience and a brand, which eventually can be a career. 100% can be. When we talk about watch time for us, for example, now think about the watch time on a stream, right?
My mind doesn't go there.
I know. But the point is that it's kind of the same idea behind somebody who watches like shorts all the time, being like, why would you watch podcasts, like a full length podcast? It's just a different form of content. But you're also not interested in video games whatsoever. But streaming is a whole nother beast now.
So you would stream it, and then what? and then
And it's also live.
For me, it was a hobby. Like, I would turn on the game, play it, and then eventually people would come into my channel,
okay.
and they might start talking to me like by typing, whatever message they wanted to say.
The live part is another big piece to it because it's live, so you're having
Here's
a chat, talk to you.
an analogy that a lot of people like to use. It's like, why you're into football? I remember telling me you were a cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
So why do people watch football? It's one of the biggest sports in America, when they could go outside and play football themselves.
Well, it's different though. Okay, so so I'm watching a professional do this game.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're saying?
Right. I was in no way a professional level, but there are streamers that are a professional level. Like Ninja is one of the streamers who grew up so big that he started to get sponsorships. Mm-hmm. And he would make sometimes a stream. He was able to charge anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million to stream while promoting a product.
Oh, I just got it. So you're playing the game
Mm-hmm.
and you're streaming it. I feel really stupid.
Yes. And then other people are
I did
watching,
not
interacting
click
with it,
in my
etc.
head.
Yeah.
You know what I thought? I thought you were just videoing the streaming and people were watching, but you weren't playing.
Oh, okay.
You were just okay.
No,
that
no,
was
no, no,
stupid
no.
on my part.
you're good.
I get it now.
There
I get
you
it. Okay. Yay.
Yeah. And
Full
it's
circle.
through that process that I was like, well, I need to know how to edit this. And I already do take pictures. It was an easy transition for me to start wanting to record, other people do whatever it is they wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because the fun part of me from what I picked up from streaming was actually the editing part, which is a lot of people don't like editing, but I really do like that.
That does not sound like fun to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do like editing a lot, and
What's your personality? Are you type A? Like everything has to be perfect, or?
Oh no, I don't think everything has to be perfect. If anything, I kind of like when things are not exactly as they should be.
Yeah.
Because it makes it more human. There's
Speak my language, he is.
Yeah.
This man's speaking my language. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's how you got into. When did you start? Like, I mean, because it's progressed, right? You started with that, and then you moved into the community, the dance community. Were you doing that first, or did you decide I want to just start dancing? Like, how did you even get into that?
How did I get into dancing?
Yeah, well, how did you get into both? Because, okay, I remember dancing with you, and then it seems like you were branching into videography, but you were already in that, right?
I was already into. By the time you met me, I was already into a lot of the things that I was already doing. I just hadn't touched them in a minute.
Okay.
I got into dancing because I actually quit my last year of college.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decided to move to Colombia because I had met somebody online, and I decided to go meet this person in person.
Wow.
And then
commitment.
I did. I spent a month with them over there, and then I came back and I told my mom I'm moving to Colombia.
Oh my God.
It was not a welcome.
Oh, your mom would have.
Yeah.
Would have.
She was like, "You're about to finish college. What do you mean you're leaving? You're quitting college?"
Yes.
And so I did. I moved over there.
I feel
spent
for your mom.
2 years over there. Things didn't work out. When I came back, though, I finished college, and it turns out I only needed 2 classes to graduate.
Wow.
So I finished those 2 classes, got my degree. But because things didn't work out in Colombia, like I was in a very depressed state, and in order for my friends to get me out of the house, they were like, "Hey, we set you up with a blind date, let's."
Awesome.
So I was like, "Okay, great. I guess the hard part is done for me."
Yeah.
So I decided to take this girl or woman to a salsa bar. I didn't even know it was a salsa,
To Ibiza.
venue. Hmm?
Where did you go to Ibiza? Where'd you go?
No, well, this was in Texas. Yes, this is-
Okay.
And then it was called ranas, which means frogs. And I always thought that I was a good dancer because I knew merengue. And in high school dances, I wasn't shy getting up on the dance floor. So
Was the hearing? Did that bother you at all when you started dancing?
I mean, I
With
wasn't
the balance?
dancing knowing moves. I was just moving to the music.
Okay.
Right. So I didn't know anything about spins and turns. I had no knowledge of that yet.
Yeah. You're like, I just got some rhythm. Let's go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then after dancing, 3-4 songs, I asked, thinking I was this great dancer, I asked my date, hey, so how's my dancing? And she said, actually, you dance pretty terrible. I'm
Oh my
having a
God.
bad time.
Oh, shut up.
I already called my friends. They're waiting for me outside. I'm leaving.
No.
Mm-hmm.
How rude. Oh, my God.
And I was like, what? And she's like, yep. So I will.
She said she was joking?
No, she left.
No way.
That's my name.
That's so bad. That's so rude, whoever you are.
I had to contain myself, not to say yes way.
Yes, right.
I really had to contain myself.
And then after she took off, I was like, well, I guess let me play it off. I went to the restroom, wash my hands. And there in the restroom, there was a card in the mirror that said, want to learn to dance. And I was like, I guess I do. I didn't even know what I was going to learn, but it ended up being salsa. From this instructor who...
You have such a great attitude. That would have crushed me.
Well, I was already crushed at that point. So to me, that was like a step up from where I was. I think it was salsa that got me out of that depression and got me moving, because I spent like 6 months at home. I just wouldn't go out when I came back from Colombia.
Did you feel that way both because the time that you spent and the relationship not working out? I mean, why was it such a deep...
Yeah, because I thought...
Because she was a shit to him.
Well, yeah,
Are you kidding me?
That's what I'm just trying to...
You're talking about my relationship in Colombia?
Yeah, because you said you came back from that and then...
Right, I proposed to a woman in Colombia and she said she wasn't ready for marriage. And then I said, okay, well then what am I doing here? So I came back. But when I went to the first salsa class with that business card, I was like, these seem like a bunch of storage units. And they were. My dance instructor, his name is David. Mm-hmm. He had just rented a storage unit because that was the cheapest thing he could rent. There was no AC. There was no electricity. He had found like a long extension cord and an outlet outside. And that was enough for him to play a radio and a fan.
Yeah.
And so we would dance. He told me, you're learning things way too fast compared to the people that are here.
And that's a bad thing?
No. Well, he followed up with, would you be interested in, I can train you for free, but when you start teaching classes, I take a percentage of that.
Oh.
And I was like, yes. I was in college, at the time, trying to finish my last semester, and free sounded great.
Yeah.
So after that, I started training with him. That's where I discovered dance congresses. Mm-hmm. So we started traveling across the U.S., throughout different dance congresses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and eventually...
You taught there? You taught at the congresses?
No, just taking classes and workshops.
Class, okay, getting better.
And then, eventually we came back. When we were in Texas, he got in trouble. We'll just leave it at that. And so he had to go away, and I inherited his students.
He got in trouble, and he had to go away.
And I inherited his students, but also, I guess I wasn't the dance partners that I had to work with were not they were not consistent enough for what was needed to be successful. Mm-hmm. And there was also a lot of knowledge gaps that I had, because my training was incomplete.
Yeah.
So I continued dancing, but also there were no other avenues for me to continue my training. And I didn't know what I was lacking either. I just knew that...
Were you teaching the lead and the follow?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be hard, especially when you just learned it.
Mm-hmm. And then, that lasted for a minute. But once I got married, I stopped. I stopped for like 10 years.
You got married?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we just jumped over a huge creek. Where did you meet her?
I met her dancing.
Backing up. Was she in your class?
Yeah.
You were teaching?
Well, she was in... she was at we would teach at a Havana club, which for us here would be Plaza Mariachi.
Okay.
But it was called Havana Club over there in Texas. Mm-hmm. And she was there because she was celebrating her best friend's birthday. And I went to ask the table if anybody wanted to take the class. Everybody said no, but they were all encouraging Marina
Yeah.
to come and take the class. And eventually she did. She took that one class. Then the next day, well, not the next day, the next week, she came back, and I didn't remember her name, but I remember her laughter.
Yeah.
And I heard that laughter, and I turned around. I was like, I know you. You were here last week.
Yeah.
And that's how that got started.
Yeah.
Yeah. She kept on coming to the classes.
Aw.
And then eventually she needed...
She saw hearts in her eyes.
She needed somebody to help her make a choreography for her boss's daughter for the quinceañera. And
What's that?
Sweet 16, but at 15 years old in Mexico.
Okay.
And so I said, yeah, I'll take the job, but I need somebody to be my dance partner to show, the quinceañera what to do. And
Were you already into her then? Or was
I
it like...
was not, but,
You're like, but I like that laugh.
yes.
I like that laugh.
Meeting up regularly for that project helped us to get to know each other more. And yeah, by the end of that project, we were dating.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then you go back. Then you got married, and then...
I got married,
Yeah.
and then after I got married, I kind of put a stop to that. Like, I stopped dancing. I tried to go dancing on my own.
You put a stop to teaching? You didn't want to do that anymore? You just...
Well, at the same time that I got married, I got promoted in my job as a department head.
Mm.
And with that came more responsibility.
Right.
And being a teacher, one of the reasons why I really don't like teaching is because it takes up a lot of your time outside of the time you're supposed to work. Mm-hmm. It's not an 8 to 5 job. It's, 8 to 5 is when you see children. But
Right.
after you see children, you still have
And
the
you got to
grading.
do your lesson plans and all that kind of
The
stuff.
lesson planning, the grading.
Right.
And at the time, I was not an ESL teacher. I was just a reading teacher or a writing teacher. So that means I did have 30 to 40 students.
Yeah.
And reading 30 to 40 essays is a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. I didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I had to drop something. And since, I was like, I need to pay the bills. So I dropped
Yeah.
the dancing. It wasn't
that's
until
so
I came here to
sad.
Tennessee. What's that?
It's so sad you had to drop dance.
I feel something about it because I can imagine what kind of a dancer I would be now if I hadn't stopped for a decade.
Well, I don't know. You've bounced back pretty well.
Oh,
I mean,
thank
I
you.
didn't know you back then, but, I'm not complaining.
Once I got here, I'm sure you know Pam, the
Yeah.
cumbia teacher here.
I know Pam. I know of Pam. I know who she is, but we've never actually talked. but-
Okay. So she was teaching salsa when I got here, and I took a lot of her classes, and she started to fill in gaps that I had in dancing.
Mm-hmm.
But because I already knew dancing, I started to pick them up quickly again. I was like, oh, everything's coming back. Right. And then I was already at a point in my life where I felt something was missing, and I didn't know what. And once I started dancing again, that's when I realized this is it. This is what's missing.
Yeah.
And then, I started to pick it up again.
Yep. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when did you start? You were just taking classes from her. When did you decide, hey, I want to teach? And another side note, which do you prefer, salsa or bachata?
Ooh.
Or, and also, that's predominantly what you do. You don't do zouk or anything like that, right?
Right.
Or
I do
kizomba.
zouk sometimes just to take it for myself, but not to teach it. When I moved here, salsa was definitely my number one. And in fact, I hated bachata because I didn't know it.
Yeah.
So I would just tell people, nah, bachata is silly. That's
Well,
don't
were
take
you
bachata,
doing
take
were you
salsa.
doing Dominican or were you doing sensual?
I was, well, when I started to learn salsa, the central was just surfacing, as I
Yeah.
understand it. It was more of a bachata fusion. And the bachata instructor local to me, his name is, I guess his stage name is Bachata George. And he's known for...
Never heard of Bachata George.
You don't know Bachata George?
No.
I guess he's more of the...
I mean, I didn't get into it until Terry got here,
Same. He would teach bachata, and I could see, like, thinking back now, I could see glimpses of what Central is now.
Yeah.
But I really liked him as an instructor because, like, I consider myself pretty big, chunky wise, but this man is massive and he moved like a feather.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, if he can move like that, there's definitely a way for me to learn how to do that. The thing is that he became very big in social media. So he wasn't teaching locally as often anymore. He started traveling, the congresses.
Okay.
So I didn't get a chance to study a lot under him.
And he was here?
No, he was in Texas.
Oh, in Texas.
All of this is in Texas.
Okay.
It wasn't until I moved here.
I've never heard of a man named George.
Right,
who's
Bachata
big
George.
And does bachata.
And then when I got here, I took classes from all the Latin instructors. Mm-hmm. So I did Nicole, I did Pam, I did Amanda, Shelby.
Yep.
And then after experiencing
Did you do
everyone,
Pal? Did you take from Pal?
I took Kizomba with Pal.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to know what that was.
Yeah.
But then eventually, I really liked Amanda's attitude.
Yes.
And how cheerful she was.
Yeah.
And then after I discovered that she's also a learner like I am, I was like, okay, I seem to vibe with you the most. Mm-hmm. So I kept on regularly attending Amanda's classes until she caught on and she said, "You already know how to dance."
Sounds like her.
And then I
calling
said,
you out.
Yeah. I told her, okay, yes, but hear me out. I had a conversation with her at a Starbucks and I said, I would really like. You do not need any help. It's obvious to me, but I want to get back into teaching, and I would like to do that with you because I feel like you and I have the same type of vibes. Yeah. And she's like, all right, well, let's give it 6 months and we'll see what comes of it. Yeah. So she continued to fill in a lot of the gaps that I had. Mm-hmm. I worked with her. She was teaching me all of the things that she had picked up from. This other couple before her that she inherited the classes from. I forgot their names. They travel now.
Carolina? No.
She's
told me this story too. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I met them and I can't believe right now I'm blacking out on their names.
Yeah.
But she started teaching me all of the things from
But she was teaching salsa.
Them.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And after that point, I had already told her early on, my goal is eventually to teach on my own. Mm-hmm. And she's like, just stay here until you need to. And when you need to go, you got to go.
Oh, look at her.
So
she's setting you free like a bird.
Right. And then I also remember telling Jen, who you're going to have later on in a future podcast.
Yeah.
When I met her at Plaza Mariachi, and I shared my origin story of dancing. Mm-hmm. And I told her one day my goal is to teach at Plaza Mariachi. And it took a little under a year, and I was already teaching at Plaza.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember.
So which do you prefer? You didn't tell me.
Oh, it wasn't until Terry came here to Nashville that I started to pick up more bachata. And
real quick for the audience that doesn't know what's bachata versus salsa. Real quick, just a basic overview. I know we've talked about it before, but just in case.
So what is bachata versus salsa?
Just for the audience that doesn't know.
I mean, you can break it down if you want.
So salsa dancing is linear dance, but it's like vertical, forward and back, whereas bachata dancing is more side to side. Mm-hmm. And the bachata that I'm about to talk about is more sensual, which means the bodies are more connected to each other, and there's more body waves. Whereas salsa feels a little bit more technical and upbeat. Bachata is more slow and
salsa is more pattern heavy, and it's faster and there's a lot of spins. Bachata for me is body rolls and head rolls and
styling,
and it is a closer dance. I mean, you're definitely closer to that person and you're feeling their body. So it's for a follow. You have to really trust your lead and know what they're doing, because that's the reason I kind of stopped a lot of bachata, because you can get hurt. Like if they want to, it's almost like you just want to get with somebody that's smooth and that's respectful and that can lead you in a way that doesn't feel unsafe. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, yes.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm really glad that I met Terry, because she started to teach me how to dance bachata in a way that I needed. It's like she's the instructor that I needed, and I continue to go to as I level up my own, I guess, bachata. I focus a lot on technique.
Yeah. She breaks it down really well.
She breaks it down really well. And I, as a dancer and as an instructor, try to make sure that I don't jump to things that I'm not ready for, which is unfortunate that I see happen a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, especially for male leads, they see what looks sensual and sexy, and they're like, oh, I want to do that now.
Right.
And they go to places where they're going to get that, but
why do they do that? Because it's sometimes you don't know as a follow. I'll go and I'll start to, you know, dance with somebody, and then they will, I mean, out of the blue, it'll be like, you know, really quick. Yeah. And then it's like, oh God, that's my neck. And you have to like, and for a follow, I mean, I guess some follows can just say, I'm done, but I feel like that's rude. So I just try to.
We talked about this on the last episode as well about
the
dynamic between a lead and a follow, especially whenever it is a very sensual dance and that kind of thing. Get some water if you want some.
No, I'm having a bunch of congestion.
Okay, you're good.
It's because it's March.
So you were saying that you see people that kind of go for. Do you think that produces that kind of effect a lot, where if somebody goes for something, you know, more sensual than they're like technique-wise prepared for, it can create an uncomfortable situation?
Yeah, uncomfortable and unsafe. I have a friend of mine I feel she's an amazing dancer, Asha. You know Asha?
Yeah,
Amir?
I love Asha. She's so sweet.
When I first met her, I tried to do a dip, and then she immediately got up before I even got her there, and she's like, no, you don't do that with me. And I was like, oh. And then later on,
I've never seen her do a dip, now that I think about it.
I asked her later, like, you have to think about those kinds of things.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with her later, and she's like, yeah, like, I may be led into body rolls or dips, but I only allow that for people that I trust. And, you know, my back is not feeling good every week, so this is a week that it isn't.
Right.
And then after that, I started to, like, I became self-aware that I also need to be aware of another person's body and what they're experiencing for that week or not.
Right.
So I started asking follows, are you comfortable with body rolls and neck rolls?
Yeah.
And I do that often, especially if it's somebody I've never met before. And I feel like they have the skill to be led into those things, but that doesn't mean that they're comfortable with me leading them.
Well, I think you're a very respectful lead. Like I always know what you're going to do, and even if I mess up or whatever, you're gentle in that way, and it's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not everybody is like that.
Right.
So it's yeah.
And more often than not, when I ask that question, I always get follows to like, thank you for asking. Right. And I actually have another anecdote where I asked somebody here in Nashville that, and then I went to, what's the name of the city over here? It's Alabama. Mm-hmm. I went to dance in Alabama at the studio over there. They were celebrating something, and we went as part of Atrevido's team with Terry. Mm-hmm. I was already leaving to go to the hotel for the night, and then somebody came running, and they stopped me, and they're like, hey, I remember you from Nashville because you were the only lead that asked me if it was okay for me to... If I felt comfortable doing body rolls and neck rolls, and I cannot let you leave without dancing with me tonight because I remember that.
Yeah, it's great.
And it turns out that it was the owner of the studio, and I was like, oh, okay.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
And you know, it always comes back on the lead, I think. If the lead is... I think the best leads to me are the ones that will showcase the follow. It's like, you know... Just make the follow look great and make her feel comfortable and make her graceful, and then it always comes back on you because that makes the lead just so much more appealing. Mm-hmm. You know,
I've never once had a follow tell me like, you made me look amazing, but I do constantly get follows tell me I knew exactly what you wanted me to do.
Right.
Or
you do. You don't have. There's no confusion with you when I'm dancing with you, which is wonderful.
And I've also heard a lot of, you've led me into things that I've never even done before, but I knew what to do. And to me, that I rather hear that, which means I'm being clear in what I'm asking my partner to do, then, oh, like that dip that you did was great, or, you know, that, you know, whatever it is, that flashy move was flashy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because flashy moves will always be there, but, you know, a person may get injured if you're leading them into something flashy, but it wasn't properly explained either to the lead or to the follow.
Yeah.
Both sides need to know what they're doing.
Also, this is a side note. When you're a great lead, you're also on the floor a lot, and so how do you feel about? I know how follows feel, but how do you feel about like really getting really sweaty?
Well, I think one thing
And
that,
also, I mean, I get really sweaty too, so I guess I can't, you know.
one of the things that a lot of people don't know
And
about
smelling
me,
good.
And
You have
s-
to smell
smelling
good.
good.
But I'll say there's some leads that don't smell so good.
and this is true.
So I'm just wondering what your take on hygiene is in the lead world.
I think hygiene is really important.
Yeah.
I am a germaphobe.
Oh, okay.
So me touching other people takes a lot of extra courage.
Wow, really?
Yes. And I've been working on that. So it's like I've improved a lot. But, and a lot of it has to do with a physical look of things. Like I
Okay.
came into your home right now. Everything looks nice and neat and tidy.
Yeah.
I have no problems touching your doorknob
Oh, good.
because everything looks well kept.
Wow.
And, but if I go to like a restaurant and as soon as I start seeing grime near the floor,
Yes.
I'm like, I'm going to use my sweater to open this, you know.
Oh, wow.
The same thing with people. However, that doesn't stop me from dancing with anybody, regardless of how they look.
Yeah.
I do think hygiene is important. Nonetheless, it shouldn't be a detriment for me to dance with someone.
Yeah.
My current dance partner, Hallie,
Yes.
one of the things that she's told me that she really liked about me is that she would observe when I would dance. And she said, you dance with everybody. Like, you dance with, she's seen me dance with like guys who ask me to dance. She's seen me dance with, you know, ladies of all
Yeah,
shapes
you
and
don't
sizes
discriminate.
and heights. Exactly. And she's like, and that's not true for all the instructors that I've tried to learn from. It seems like some instructors are really exclusive with who they want to dance because they know they're going to be recorded in a video and they want to look the best.
Yeah, again, so it's back on the lead. And I just think if you're going to be a good lead, a lead that I look for is someone that's just going to try to do the best for their follow, because it ultimately comes back on them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's you don't want to dance with somebody that's trying to take the spotlight, because then it's just like, why am I even here?
Right.
Like, you're doing all this stuff and I'm just along for the ride. So
Right. And
yeah.
then when I moved to Tennessee, I used to be actually way closer to 300 pounds. Right now, I'm like around 220. And
Are
I
you?
lost it all. I lost it all through dancing and well, a combination of dancing and medication. But I remember what it was like being rejected in my mind because I was overweight. A lot had to do with, you know, not being confident at the time.
Right.
But definitely a large part of it was, you know, not looking what I guess somebody who was more fit would look like.
Huh.
So because I've experienced that kind of a rejection, it made me make sure not to allow other people to experience that through me. So that's why I will always dance with anybody who asks me to dance.
Yeah.
Even if I'm tired or if I really am super tired, I'll be like, let me rest a song and I'll come right back to you.
Yeah. Yes.
And yeah, that's part of what I feel makes me, the kind of a lead that I am, is because I get to experience dancers of all levels.
Yeah.
And I become aware of where they're at and meet them there, not try to force them through moves that I know how to do, but I know that they're also not ready for.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting here thinking back when you said you're a germaphobe. I'm like, okay, well, next time I dance with you, I'm going to definitely not be sweaty
Oh, no.
as soon as I come in, because I'm real paranoid about that, you know.
Okay.
So anyway, I'll move past it. How much?
You
Where
got
are
about
we?
10 minutes if you want to do the lightning round.
Yeah. Okay. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about like dance or anything? Anything you wanted to get out? Because otherwise, I have like a lightning round of questions.
Okay. Well,
If
a
not,
shameless
that's fine.
plug, if that's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, if
Plug
anybody's
away.
interested in dance classes, salsa or bachata in Nashville, you can go to dancewithnoe.com where you can find our schedule and follow me on Instagram at dancewithnoe as well.
Yes.
Do you have a page for like videography and that kind of thing? That kind of
I do have a at Monsi Media is my Instagram page for videography. Mhm.
thing? Perfect.
He has it all. Okay. Okay, what's your biggest pet peeve dance edition for
Biggest pet peeve dance edition?
lead or follow. It doesn't have to be dance edition. You can do, or it can be like traffic driving. But I was just thinking dance.
Okay. I guess my biggest pet peeve dance edition would be for leads not being receptive to feedback they are given.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your favorite animal?
My favorite animal is a penguin.
A penguin?
Yes.
Oh, I love penguins.
hmm
Why?
I like that they're monochromatic. It's just
Black and white.
Yeah.
Yep. The way they
And
walk.
They waddle when they walk, but they're so graceful when they swim.
They are.
So I like that a lot.
Okay, they're kind of a dichotomy.
hmm
Do you have pets?
I do not. I
Okay.
used to have cats.
Okay, so you're a cat guy?
I'm more of a cat guy than I am a dog guy. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I get that. I could see that in you for some reason. What's something that I can't, like, Google about you?
Cannot.
Yeah,
Uh,
something no one knows.
Probably. Well, I think if they've never met me, my deafness.
Yes.
Yep. Right.
I mean, I really didn't know about it until I saw that little clip, but yeah, that was shocking to me.
Yeah. And other than that is the germophobia that I covered right now.
Yes.
Those are things that I think I hide very well
Okay.
until I can't.
Yeah. Until now, you can't hide it because it's on film.
Because it's not exactly now,
Everybody knows now.
it's Googleable now.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. What's your favorite food?
Chinese food.
Chinese
Yeah,
food?
Specifically, either combination fried rice or sweet and sour pork.
Okay. Do you have a favorite sound?
Ooh, a favorite sound?
That's a good question.
It is. I know. I wasn't even going to say it, but I'm going to say it now.
I like the sound that a droplet of water makes when you are circling it around a cup of wine.
Oh my God. Wait, let me think. Let me visualize this. Wait, say that one more time. You like, if you put a little bit of water in your finger and you do this.
Yeah, that whistle sound.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting. Oh, I just hit that. Sorry. What is one adjective to describe your driving?
My driving.
That's a new one. I haven't heard this one.
Courteous.
Courteous, of course.
I like to, prevent, accidents as much as possible. So if somebody's trying to get in, I'm like, you know what?
Yes.
I'm sure you're more in a rush than I am. And
Yeah, you would hate to be behind me or in front of me. Yeah, it would be bad. Okay. And then one foible that you have. You're an English guy. You have to know what foible is.
foible.
What's a foible for those?
It's a character flaw,
Okay.
and you may not have any.
Well, I would say a flaw that I have is,
If you don't have any, it's okay.
no, I definitely have plenty. I'm just trying to narrow the one that I want. The one that should be Googleable.
Yeah.
I like that phrase. I don't. All right, here's this one. This one is for sure, probably the biggest one.
Okay.
Is that I tend to be a procrastinator. And
Yes.
I tell myself that I work well under pressure, which is true, but I can just imagine, how better projects would be if I didn't wait till the last second.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's everybody, honestly.
So that I would say
procrastinate as well.
it's something that is foible. Yeah.
I had the only reason I know that word is because I had a boyfriend once who said that basically he loved me despite all my foibles, and I had no idea. I was like, what the hell is a foible? And I had to look it up, and I was like, are you kidding me?
The character foils, yeah.
Yeah, the nerve. So anyway, all right. Well,
I got a question.
Oh, what?
I got a question for you. I've been meaning to suggest this as a question because it's a good one, but for in most of these, any of these, but the child who was told that they will never do anything creative, can't dance, can't do any of the things that you've done. If you
That Mexican doctor.
if you could say anything to him, what would you say?
I would tell them, don't let anyone tell you what you can't do. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
That's
true.
that's what I would go back and tell them.
Good
And
words, no way.
I would layer on to that, be more confident. I feel like a lot more doors would have opened up sooner for me if I was just confident enough, period. Confident enough, blank. Like,
Yeah.
confident enough to
Or
have
being
spoken
brave.
for
I mean,
myself.
you have been very brave in your life, and you've
Mhm.
just taken chances. And always when you do something like that, I mean, you're going to win in some way. You're going to learn in some way, right?
Mhm. People
So-
today tell me, you come across as very confident. What do you mean? I'm like, that's how I come across to you today.
Mm-hmm.
But if you'd met me, in my middle school, high school, college life, that was not me at all.
Yeah.
But confidence today has really opened up a lot of doors. And then I didn't even know what the word advocate meant, like when you advocate for yourself. And once I learned it, I was like, oh, this is what it means. And I can do that for me. Oh, okay. So once I
Yeah.
started to advocate for myself and my needs, like things started to change so much for the better for me. So confidence is definitely one thing that I always strive for myself and for others to have.
And you have a really good mindset. You're, for the most part, you just seem like a happy guy. You have kind of a good aura around you. So
Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome. Anyway, I guess that's it. We done.
Okay.
Like and subscribe, et cetera, et
Yeah.
cetera. You plugged all your stuff earlier, so I guess we're out of here. Appreciate you
We're
guys.
done.
We'll see you
Thanks,
next time.
Noe. That was
Nice.
great.
Thank you.
That was fun.
That was fun.